Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
It's a Tuesday. Thank you so much for tuning into this crazy little program we like to call the John and Heidi Show. Hey, baby, how you doing over there?
Super, how are you?
Good. It's Tuesday. That means we've got Tuesdays with Charlie later in the program. I always like that. Also, got an exciting product for people who have a pet. If you've got a dog, even if you live like in a big city, or you can even live in a small town, doesn't matter. But there's a new product that allows dogs to go to the bathroom in the house in their own little private bathroom called the Pet Loo.
Oh.
It's kind of an interesting idea.
All right.
It's like a giant litter box, basically. But you
I don't think I'd want that in my house.
I just wonder how you would train your dogs to use this thing.
Yeah.
I don't think our dogs would do it.
I don't think our dogs would do it either.
Hey, interesting story here. A Florida woman is facing charges after being accused of chasing a Wendy's employee around the store with a stun gun because she was upset that she got her order wrong.
I can see that.
Completely reasonable. I mean, it's about time this happened. We have another stun gun story coming up later in the program. Stick around. It's a Tuesday. Thanks for joining us.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com.
If you're selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. So what do you have to lose? And if you're buying an RV, you got to find the great deals at RVWheelator.com.
Now back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. I have a scientifically proven way to make your home office smarter, and by extension, making yourself smarter. This is from the Norwegian University of Life Sciences, and they say you need a plant. Put a plant in your office, keep it alive. Pretty simple, pretty effective, but research...
We have two.
Those are plastic.
That doesn't count?
They don't count. Research suggests, according to this study, that working in a room with a plant improves your performance, and people who don't have a plant in their workspace are a bunch of morons. Well, that's not really what it says, but
maybe
it just
paraphrasing.
Says, I'm paraphrasing. No, it just says that you get more work done, and you have a better work day by having a plant.
We have plants right outside the window. Does that count?
No. You're supposed to have a plant in your workspace, and you should be the one that keeps it alive. I can tell you something we used to do. We had a live plant.
You should be the one that keeps it alive.
I'm just saying, we used to have a plant, and I would feed it coffee. Remember that?
Yeah, his name was Robert.
Yeah, Robert Plant. I thought that was fun. All right, coming up, we got another fun story, again, talking about getting zapped. That's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
We had a story earlier this morning about a woman who was in trouble for chasing a Wendy's employee around a Wendy's using a stun gun. And she got in trouble for that because that's apparently not called for.
Apparently that's frowned upon.
But now, in San Francisco, it is now illegal to use a stun belt against somebody in court for talking. Which means at one point it was legal to stun somebody with a stun belt. It's a belt that they put on, you push a button and it stuns them when they're talking. Here's what was happening. It was taking place in Long Beach Court in California. A defendant was interrupting the judge in the case, so the judge had the defendant shocked with 50,000 volts with a stun belt. The defendant is now afraid to say anything in court for fear of being shocked. That was what the judge was hoping for. But now that is illegal.
So it worked.
So it was legal to do that before? So the judge had a little buzzer he could push?
Well, it probably was never legal, but it was never illegal.
I think that's kind of what he... And the judge, he has a way of parting words, and he's like, hey, it's not illegal, so go ahead and strap the belt on it. Bailiff, come on. Jury, if you don't like it, we got more belts for you. I just can't even imagine that. So there you go. That was something they did. And again, this story, I wonder what was wrong with the order at Wendy's when they were...
Something pretty major, apparently.
I asked for a biggie fries. Get over here. I got my stun gun. I shouldn't make fun of it because it's really sad that happened, but it just doesn't sound like something a sane person would do. Coming up here in a bit, we've got your brain on drugs. We're going to chat about that. Got your moment of duh coming up. And, of course, the scoop of the day. All of that on the way. And it is a Tuesday. So let me check. Yep. Tuesdays with Charlie. That's coming up. That's all on the way on the program. Thanks for joining us on the John and Heidi Show.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain. And this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help. Go to KeystoneTreatment.com.
You can also call Keystone Treatment Center toll-free at 1-800-992-1921.
And this is your brain on drugs. Can you get drunk from kissing? Well, a 17-year-old Gianna Vigilati of Manhasset, New York, was pulled over by police when she was swerving. This was on Friday night. The cop said her speech was a little slurred, and there were 4 full beer bottles under her car seat and 1 empty beer can in her purse. She blew a .15 blood alcohol level on the breathalyzer, twice the legal limit, but she's pleading not guilty, and she has an excuse. She claims, I wasn't the one drinking. My boyfriend was. I was just kissing him. So she's saying
I don't think so.
She got the blood alcohol level on the breathalyzer because she was kissing him. So it'll be interesting to see how that whole thing pans out. So, I understand if you're kissing somebody that has been drinking, that would be probably on your breath.
It would be on your breath, but it wouldn't make you swerve.
Yeah, I don't think it'd make you swerve.
Yeah.
So, good luck on that one. So there you go. That is happening in New York. Coming up, we're going to talk about using digital maps. That is all on the way. Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWeelator.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVWeelator.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVWeelator.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
We live in an age where technology just amazes me. But here's a helpful hint. If you happen to work for a construction or demolition company, when you're hired to knock a house down, the most important thing to do is to know the address of the house that you're supposed to knock down.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There was a contractor that was hired to demolish a home in Arkansas, and he apparently didn't know this. He accidentally knocked down the wrong house. Johnny Mac Richardson of Richardson Environmental and Excavating Services said that they were sitting on the street, and they made a call to City Hall. They asked City Hall if they were at the right house. Johnny Mac was told the house was covered by trees. Evidently, there were a couple of homes that were covered by trees because he knocked down a different home that was covered by trees. And, yeah, that's a bad deal. You might want to double check, maybe even triple check, maybe even quadruple check that you're at the right place.
Look in the windows and see if there's stuff in the house.
Yeah, I don't know.
You probably wouldn't be tearing down a house that was furnished with pictures on the walls.
Yeah, second time in the last couple of weeks we talked about the wrong home being destroyed. What is this world coming to? I can tell you one thing. We have your scoop of the day on the way.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by Rough Tough Kennels.
If you have a puppy or a big dog, Rough Tough Kennels has something that's just right for you. They have kennels that are strong enough that I can stand on top of them, but they're cozy enough for your furry little best friend. Learn more and see the different sizes available at roughtoughkennels.com.
That's RUFF, toughkennels.com.
Time now for the scoop of the day. Is the USA becoming less godly by the day? Maybe. But most Americans would rather have a president who believes in God than one who doesn't. There was a recent article in the Christian Post, and a study was conducted by Pew Research Center. They found Americans ranked atheism as the most negative trait that could be displayed by a presidential candidate who would plan to seek the White House in 2016. In fact, Americans said cheating, smoking pot, or sexual orientation have less impact on their vote than whether or not the president believes in God. So there you go. One nation under God. So they're saying that's important to them. It's important to me.
It's very important to me.
Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal will make a major announcement coming up on June 24th about his presidential plans. So one more name in the ring is what it sounds like. Advisor
there
Timmy
are so
Teeple.
Many.
I know. He says the governor will declare his plans to enter the crowded Republican field in New Orleans coming up on the 24th. So, by the way, Tuesdays with Charlie coming up in a bit. And I have very solid news here. Charlie plans to make his announcement about his run for the president coming up during Tuesdays with Charlie. So you don't want to miss today's program. While it's easy to blame Facebook for feeling disconnected, an article in Relevant Magazine says quitting social media altogether might not be the answer. According to the article, social media did not invent jealousy or wasting time. They're saying the problem is not Facebook. The problem is us and how we use Facebook. Mm-hmm. Cranberry juice. For years, it's been touted as a natural way to prevent and treat bladder and urinary tract infection. But a comprehensive review of studies, I think I said that word funny, a comprehensive review of studies has found the claims have been overhyped. Certain sugars of a type of, and there's a type of enzyme called flavanol found in cranberry juice, have been thought to prevent infections by keeping bacteria from clinging to the cells in the urinary tract. Results from a review of 24 studies included about 5,000 people. They say that the cranberry juice may only be helpful in a select few. So they're saying that doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, it never really worked for me. I used to get them all the time. Never worked for me.
What was the stuff that you used?
Apple cider vinegar.
Doesn't that sound gross?
It was disgusting, but it worked. Like, instantly, it worked. Better than the pills that I would get from the doctor.
And that was for a urinary tract infection?
Yeah.
All right, or a bladder infection, whatever it was. Hey, 57% of women say they would rather be rich than maintain their ideal weight forever. So if you could say, I want to be rich or I want to be the ideal weight forever, no matter what I do, which one would you choose, Heidi?
Can I have both?
Well, Oprah has. All right. Hey, a man was stopped by police after driving 155 miles per hour.
Whoa.
This was on a freeway in Germany. He was checking the financial pages in a newspaper while he was driving. Yeah. He told police, I was just checking my stocks and shares. I wasn't reading big features or anything.
Oh, my gosh.
He faces a $100 fine.
$100?
Yeah. And a 3-month license suspension. So he's getting his license taken away. This is in Germany where they have the Autobahn. So he was going 155 miles an hour while reading the newspaper.
Wow.
I shouldn't laugh because that's some
so
serious
dangerous.
Damage could have been done. Yeah. Are you ready for your strange law for the day?
Sure thing.
In Indiana, it is a law that you cannot take a bath between the month of October or March. So October, November, December, January, February, and March. You cannot take baths between October and March.
Yeah, that's when they might want to remove.
I wonder if that means you have to take a shower during those months?
Well, I think this is from way back in the day.
I don't know.
It's
kind of crazy. There you go. This has been your Scoop of the Day, brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
The John and Heidi Show podcast is brought to you by DirecTV.
They have big-time savings going on right now, so you can sign up and save. Get all the details at 1-800-259-7646.
Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com.
Quite possibly the best way to buy an RV or to sell an RV. They're like a realtor for your RV. Check out RVWheelator.com.
And the Dollar Shave Club.
Get amazing razors for $1 a month, and for a few bucks more, they'll bring them right to your door.
Sign up today at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, the thing we do every Tuesday at this time, something I absolutely enjoy. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law just because we can. It's a show we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie. How you doing, Charlie?
Hey, sun's shining, birds are singing in the trees. It's nice.
It is nice.
It's beautiful.
Just can't beat it. Hey, I told everybody earlier that you had your official presidential announcement, whether you're going to run for president or not. You were going to make that announcement today. Are you running for president in 2016, Charlie?
No.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I told them earlier that we'd be making that announcement today. So everybody else seems to be running. I didn't know if maybe you would decide to run or not.
Well, I was going to, then I said, oh, the hell with it.
Somebody else can mess with all that stuff.
Let somebody else do it.
All right. Well, what else are we going to learn about today, Charlie?
Hey, did you know that people trust bearded men more than clean-shaven ones?
Really?
I disagree with that.
Well, hey, what about Abe Lincoln?
Honest
He
Abe.
was clean-shaven.
No, Honest Abe Lincoln, he had a beard.
Not all the time.
Yes, he did.
The whole time he was president, he did.
No, he didn't. I've seen pictures.
Yeah, from before he was president.
You ain't
when he was a boy.
I think that's a tallness thing. I don't think it's anything to do with his beard. I think people trusted him because he was tall. If you notice, most politicians tend to be tall.
You shouldn't drink in the morning. She's a happy drunk.
Yes, she apparently is.
Did you know that car accidents raised 10% during the first week of daylight savings time?
Yes, because people are driving, the sun is in a different spot. And yeah, I read that. I've read that before, and I agree with it because I've noticed during that time how much harder it is to see things and all that.
Well, I suppose they go to work at a different sun time.
So it's like, your whole day changes by an hour all at once.
Okay, then this thing I believe, because right now 70% of the people driving on U.S. highways are speeding.
Probably.
Yeah.
Heidi does.
No.
Well, I think everybody pushes it a little bit, don't they?
I know I do a little bit. I probably shouldn't.
Well, you push it more than a little bit.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, he pushes it way more than a
No,
little
I
bit.
don't.
We've ridden with you.
I've got tickets to prove it.
There you go. Hey, sumo wrestlers.
Yes.
I hate them.
Why?
Because I do. That's not a sport. That's just big fat guys pushing each other around.
It's either a sport or two guys trying to get the last slice of pizza. One or the other.
Do you have a fact about this, or you just wanted to get that off your chest?
No, I got something to back it up.
Good. There is more. Okay.
Did you know that they skip breakfast and then nap after lunch to gain and sustain their weight?
Really?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
I do that too. That's apparently what the problem is.
You could be a sumo wrestler. Hey, then I got one last thing for you before you ask me a question.
Oh, okay. What's that?
You know, back in the day, Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
Did you know that he was an opening act for the Monkees?
I did, and they didn't like him.
They didn't?
No, the people who were going to see the Monkees didn't like Jimi Hendrix.
That's two very different styles of music. They really didn't pair well.
Different, yeah.
So it wasn't a good matchup because Jimi Hendrix was awesome and the Monkees were awesome, but just two completely different crowds.
Yeah.
Apparently, he played 7 times for him before they canned him or whatever.
Yep. All right, you ready for your question today, Charlie?
Is it a good one?
It is. This is actually from me because today, and we'll be talking about this in a little while. Today is Donald Duck Day. So first of all, my question is: are you a fan of Donald Duck?
I know who he is.
He's Mickey's friend, So Donald Duck has been known to fight crime as a costumed superhero. Do you know who he dresses up as when he's fighting crime?
You gotta be nuts. No.
Super Duck.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, Super Duck.
I didn't know that either.
And here's my question that I've been wanting to ask. Do you know what Donald Duck's middle name is? It's close to yours.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Donald Fauntleroy Duck. Because yours is Leroy.
Huh?
Yeah.
Fauntleroy.
Donald Fauntleroy Duck. Charles Fauntleroy Nelson.
What would you ever need to know that for?
I don't know. Because somebody might ask you sometime on the radio. And now you'll know.
Did you know he was banned like in Japan or China?
Why?
Because he don't wear pants.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he does.
No ducks wear pants. They ban all ducks and...
Does cartoon characters. Mickey Mouse does.
He does, indeed. That's a good thing. He's not banned in China.
No.
All right. Well, Charlie, it was good chatting with you. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Well, if I'm around next Tuesday, give me a buzz.
All right. We'll talk to you then.
Bye, Daddy.
Okay. Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can with a little program we like to call Tuesdays with Charlie.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Today's a very special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Today is, as I mentioned during Tuesdays with Charlie, Donald Duck Day, which is awesome. So quackity quack to all the Donald Duck fans out there. Today is also World APS Day. I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
World Apps Day? I don't know. Maybe it's World Apps Day. But it's World APS, all capital letters. World Apps Day. It's also World Pet Memorial Day. Who would you say... You got some pets that you've had in the past. Who would you say is the pet that you miss the most of all the ones that you've had?
Nuggy.
I was going to even say it for you because you guys always talk about Nuggy.
Yeah, Nuggy was a great dog.
Yeah. You had, and I would probably have to say Joey was of all the pets that I had a little poodle named Joey. He was so funny. So anyway, today's a good day to remember your pets and maybe think about Donald Duck while you're doing it. Coming up here in a bit, if you want to save money, you're supposed to, I know it's hard, unplug the TV and video games. Ouch! We're going to chat all about that coming up in a bit on the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVWheelator.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Thank you so much for listening on a Tuesday. You have everything moved?
Yeah, that's much better. I can see your face now.
Like you really need to. We had a lamp in between us, and we were having a Caddyshack
It was
moment
like that part on Caddyshack where the judge is dodging around the lamp. I was like, yeah, this is not working. I got to move this.
Hey, if you want to save money, you're supposed to unplug the TV and video games. If your energy bills are going up, there's some simple things you can do to bring them down. Turns out those video game consoles and plasma screen TVs eat up major current. In an Australian study, the game consoles and plasma TVs topped the list of 16 electronic devices in energy consumption. Even leaving a PlayStation 3 on while not in use could cost almost 5 times more than it would to run a refrigerator.
Whoa.
Yeah. They say the plasma TVs eat up 4 times more power than a traditional television.
Yeah, we don't have any of those things.
Yeah. It's like, well, finally, we're doing something right.
The electric company keeps coming over and checking the meter. Is this thing working?
Yeah, what's going on here? You guys,
house?
You have no creature comforts
Last
here.
month we had to pay you.
It's not quite that bad. No, we do have a flat screen TV. It's sitting in our garage, not being used.
It's not being used.
We got to find a place for it.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but I do like it. We watch movies once in a while, and you can tell that there's something going on off screen. You're like, I wonder what's going on over there.
What's happening over there?
They all seem to be interested in something going on to the right. Wish there was a way to find out what that is. Maybe we have to buy a new TV one of these days.
And we had a girl over here the other day playing with our daughter, and she looked at the TV. She goes, "Oh, I love your old TV."
I would move it, but that thing weighs 800 pounds, so that's why it's there. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about very interesting story about a guy that hates to see food go to waste. That is all on the way. Thanks for listening on a Tuesday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Robert Lee really hates to see food go to waste. So according to the Good News Network, that is why he left his job at J.P. Morgan. That's a good place to work, and he made some serious bank there. He left that to rescue leftover food from various restaurants around New York City and deliver it to homeless shelters. Isn't that cool?
Haven't we talked about this?
No. Every day, Robert and a band of volunteers collect bags of things like bagels and deli items and catered food, knowing they're going to get tossed in the trash. Over the last 2 years, the organization Rescuing Leftover Cuisine has delivered over 100,000 pounds of food to people in need, and they partner with 50 food providers across the city or around the city of New York alone.
I thought food pantries couldn't take cooked food.
I have no idea what they're doing or how they're doing it, but it sounds to me like they found a way to make this work. So 100,000 pounds of food that was going to go in a dumpster is now going to people in need. So That's really cool. Coming up, we're going to talk about rugby. I don't know why, but it's on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club.
You can get razors every month for just $1. And for $2 more, they'll bring them right to your door. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more.
That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
What is rugby? That's kind of like football, but like rougher, isn't it? Okay, that's what I was thinking. Because it says here, being caught and surrounded by an entire rugby team could be the worst nightmare for a purse snatcher. But that's what happened to a man who snatched a woman's purse in northern Italy in Bologna, B-L-O-G-N-A. B-O-L-O-G-N-A. So there's a name of a town called Bologna?
Huh.
All right. Snatching happened really close to a hotel where some rugby teams were about to hold a news conference. The pickpocket, spotted by 2 team members, he snatched a purse and took off. Everybody ran after him. He ran and sought refuge in a kindergarten classroom, which was quickly surrounded by the entire Benetton rugby team. The man was arrested a few minutes later by police. I'm sure he was saying, please just take me to jail, and please don't let them beat the snot out of me. Can you imagine hiding in a kindergarten class? What kind of wimp is he?
What a loser.
You don't do that. Don't steal a purse, period. But then if you're going to do it, don't surround yourself with kids.
If somebody ever took my purse, they would be so disappointed.
I know.
Hey,
what is it? What's in there?
The most valuable thing in here is half a piece of gum.
they'd come back and say, you want to just take this back? I mean, you should be ashamed of yourself. All right, coming up here, we're going to give you an excuse not to mow your lawn. That is on the way.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
If you're looking for an excuse not to mow your lawn, this might be a good excuse.
All right.
All right. It says here, a guy named Rodney Theron had a bear that was chasing him.
A bear?
Yeah. He's in Salem, New York. He was out cutting his grass. He was on a little Troy-Bilt riding lawnmower, and he was cruising around. And a bear came barreling out of the woods, ran right towards him. Theron figured he's probably dead meat. He says, there's no way I could outrun the bear with this little tiny mower.
On a mower.
So I can only imagine seeing that happen. They should have that in the Troy-Bilt ads if it actually worked. He decided to show the bear who's boss.
Whoa.
He opened the mower full tilt and headed straight for the bear. The bear turned tail and ran away.
Oh.
This should be an ad for them. But the run-in didn't do anything for his high blood pressure. He says he's had it with mowing. He doesn't care if the grass grows as tall as the trees. Not mowing anymore. I'm done. So apparently he lives in an area where there's a lot of bears. Otherwise,
I didn't know there were bears in the New York area.
Apparently, this was in Salem, New York.
Huh.
So I'm not sure where that is. I'm assuming it's upstate. It's probably nowhere near Brooklyn or anything. You know, I'm just assuming. Never really
I'm
been there.
sure it's not like
Bears.
Manhattan.
Yeah, bears walking
mowing
out,
in Central Park and
coming out between a few buildings. Grrr. Probably not the way it works. What are you doing here? Looking for a bagel. That's all I want. So there you go. If you're looking for an excuse not to mow, just say, hey, I'm afraid I could be attacked by a bear. Coming up here in a bit, we're going to talk about an interesting story about a dude that was barking at his neighbor's dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. We'll chat about that. This probably could have been part of the, your brain on drugs segment from earlier in the show, but we'll chat about that. And if we have time, maybe we'll even get to a story about a woman who smashed an ambulance into a hospital. That's all on the way as well. Thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by Rough Tough Kennels.
If you have a puppy or a big dog, Rough Tough Kennels has something that's just right for you. They have kennels that are strong enough that I can stand on top of them, but they're cozy enough for your furry little best friend. Learn more and see the different sizes available at roughtoughkennels.com.
That's RUFF, toughkennels.com.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Got a story here about a Wisconsin man who's been spending his days barking at his neighbor's dog.
Nice.
Yeah, well, now he's facing charges after he threatened to shoot the dog when the dog barked back at him. 42-year-old Michael Van Kauberg is allegedly, he's gone on to threaten the owner as well, in addition to threatening the dog. But the authorities say that he was eventually arrested after he surrendered after a 4-hour standoff. So he's barking at the dog, threatened to shoot the dog, threatened to shoot the owner, then had a 4-hour standoff with police. He's not having a good day. I'm just saying.
He's not stable.
No. And I do have time for this. So I'm going to get this story in as well. A woman stole an ambulance and then drove it right into the wall of a hospital. The woman, in her 20s, jumped into an ambulance and drove off, hitting a police car. This is from like a week ago. She was followed by police for about 3 minutes before driving through the entrance doors of the Akron City Hospital emergency room. Police say there were no injuries. The woman was taken to a different hospital for evaluation. Cuckoo. Earlier the same day, she had gone to the Akron City Hospital and asked for her child's birth certificate. She became irate when the hospital said, we don't have that here.
Yeah, they don't keep those there. You
Why
need to
would
go
we
to the
have
courthouse.
that? So she was very upset, thought they should have it, jumped into an ambulance, smashed into the hospital.
Wow.
Do you think that's going to help get your birth certificate that you're looking for?
No.
No. I think we have a...
I have a feeling she'll have some other official paperwork to deal with. So.
I'm going to have these things to give you. You might want to hold on to that. That's your court date right there. But we had a story earlier in the program about a lady that was chased around a Wendy's. They were trying to zap her with a stun gun because the order was wrong. This lady took an ambulance and crashed into the building because she was upset. Guys, if you're upset, don't do that. Just
the world is falling apart.
Love each other. If you treated others the way you expected to be treated, imagine what a great world this would be. I'm just saying. It really would. And with that, it's time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us on a Tuesday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And this bonus break is brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. They like to give you a little more. First of all, they charge $1 a month for fresh new razors. They'll deliver them right to your door for $2 more. It's a pretty darn good deal.
It's a very good deal.
So for $3, you are shaving like a king. Now, if you want to upgrade, they got some really cool upgrades as well. The one that I do is the Executive Series. Mm-hmm. Really nice razors for $9 a month, delivered right to your door. It's very cool. Anyway, check them out. In addition to the razors, they like to slip a little something extra in that package every once in a while to let you try some new products from their company. You can get all the details if you want to sign up. You can do that too at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, the bonus break. A Columbia Police Department is accusing a man who can neither hear nor speak. He is mentally challenged, and he is imprisoned in a psychiatric hospital. They're accusing him of leading a telephone extortion racket, claiming that he repeatedly telephoned a local businessman, threatening his life and demanding $3 million. So, do you think he did it?
No, I find that rather hard to believe.
I don't think he did it either. Well, he's going to have his day in court, but the court physician has confirmed that Torres cannot speak and he cannot hear. They arrested him because they had a really good reason. I'm sure you're wondering what that is.
What is this reason?
Well, they received a tip that the man they want is named Juan Guerrero Torres. That's a man that has the same name. But that man has blonde hair and blue eyes and lives in Bello. This Juan Guerrero Torres has dark hair and dark eyes and lives in Pettigrew. But they said, hey, got the same name. He must be our man.
He must be the guy.
We're dragging him in. Gonna
Wow.
make him testify one way or another. So that is weird. That's in Colombia.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've
You can be
ever heard
arrested
in my
for just
life.
having the wrong name there, apparently. Hey, do you have a joke for us today or something? Weren't you
No.
gonna? You don't have anything?
No.
Why?
Because you keep telling me I can't tell jokes. And
No.
I'm not going to tell knock-knock jokes. You want, like, clean jokes. I'm not going to sit here and tell a knock-knock joke.
I never said you need to tell knock-knock jokes. Although, if you have a good one. Banana who? Orange, you glad I didn't say banana? Oh, all right. Well, that's going to do it then for your scoop of the day. Or not the scoop. What is this called again? Bonus break. There you go. Sorry, Dollar Shave Club. I feel as though we rip people off. But the good news is they won't rip you off. They'll take good care of you. I got an email from them that my razors were just sent out. So
Nice.
got some new razors coming. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. They're starting to pile up so I can start using some of those, right?
I have some extras. Well, I ordered 2 different things now. So,
Yeah.
yes, you can use the Humble Twin.
I want to use the executive.
All right. You can use the executives because I do have some extras. Again, if you'd like to know more about them, go to dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
Radio.